when I am not thinking positively and I'm not being optimistic, I'm being someone else. And I know some people who are those other people who I don't want. They are, like you said, they are negative. They are always negative. They are always sad. They are always complaining about something. I'll first talk, because there's also that. I'm going to say a lot of sayings today. There's also that saying that, man, if you're not if you're not thinking as if positive, like you're thinking negatively. Allow me first talk about that negative part. If I can't I think I've known the thing. If you can't know how something, if you want to know how to sustain money or something like that, or know what it feels to not have money, something like the opposite side, always know the opposite side. So tell us about negative, and there is a word called pessimistic. Yes, first explain those two words.
The two words. So negativity or pessimism or being pessimistic is a tendency where people focus on the bad and they also anticipate the worst. And there are people in Uganda, as we speak now, Byron, who say in Uganda, which good is happening in Uganda? I mean, there is a phrase which was famous sometime back and says, Oseka chimu Uganda. What is good to laugh about?
Why are you happy?
Why are you happy in Uganda with all our problems?
True.
So that is a mindset whereby it's a limiting mindset. That's a mindset where you are going to be very frustrated because your entire focus, you're focusing on the bad which is happening, the deaths, you're focusing on what is happening in society which is really bad. And when I talk of society, let me just make this very clear. I have a concept which I developed myself. It's called the Trinity of Events and the Trinity cycle of events. And I believe that for something to happen, there is a spiritual initiation for it. And in spiritual, I'm talking about the good forces, that is God, or the bad forces, that is evil or Satan. Now, that comes down to community. And in community, that is nature, that's the environment we're staying in. And it also comes down to the individual as you. Now, when I'm talking of the individual as you, I'm talking about also the Trinity of events, in that we have the soul. The soul has three components, and that is the will, the mind, and the emotions. So emotions help you to respond to the actions which other people, other events have brought in your life. The will is that ability to make a decision, to take the initiative, to take the action. You do that by your will. Now the mind is like the parliament of the soul, is like the parliament of the body. That's from the psychology perspective, it's the conscious and the subconscious mind, and you can predetermine your mind to see that you are in one moment. I mean, you are aligned. Now, other Trinity of events is I get that from the tree model of problems. That is, we have the causal factors or causal events, we have the presented events, and the consequences or the effects. Now, right now, COVID-19 is a causal factor, which is bringing to the presented problems we have in life, like we have financial strain, business is not running, people don't know what is going to happen, and all of that is the presented. If you ask someone, says, I'm not fine, why? Because I don't have money, blah, 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 caused by COVID. And the consequence for that, we have post-traumatic stress disorders. We have a lot of emotional distress going around, caused by all of that which I've mentioned. We have gender-based violence, which this morning you've been discussing about. Government is trying to do an initiative about pregnancy in girls, in teenagers. And all this is a present, it's an effect of both the presented and the causal events. So putting that in mind, the Trinity of the cycle of events, if you as an individual, you are in, you have the ability to to think and align yourself with the positive divine ability.
Okay.
And when you align yourself with the positive divine ability, nature itself or the environment is going to avail you with opportunities to see good, opportunities to advance you in your career, because you gave me an opportunity to be on this show. So I believe if God had not allowed that, it wouldn't have happened. And it's my responsibility to come and do very best here. The problem with people psychologically is they shun away from their real responsibilities. And then they want to cast their responsibility to the environment, to other people.
Yeah.
And that's where negativity comes in, because what you're thinking is every bad thing which is happening in your life is because someone else has not done it right, the government has not done it right, God has not blessed you enough, your family has not given you the very best. And I am here to challenge you that irrespective of what the government has done, irrespective of what your family is doing, irrespective of what your spouse and partner are doing for you or about you, against you, you have the ability to think positive, to know that life is actually good and better for you.
All right. Eish. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Anyway, before we go in for a break,
Yes, my friend.
you mentioned, I feel like most of these things are happening in our mind.
Yeah.
They're happening in our brain.
Yeah.
And that means as if the power of your mind, how then should we train our minds, right?
Our minds.
So that that person who is always pessimistic or negative can quickly change. Like, also, is it as easy as I say it? Is it because I've had some negative vibes before, and it was very, very hard at that point to think yes, positive. It was hard because at that point, you might not even be playing the blame game. You might even be blaming yourself. You might not be blaming your external factors.
But
You might be blaming yourself, like maybe I should have done better at this. Maybe I should have, done this. So one, how should we then change our minds. Our mindset?
Okay.
Yeah.
One, let me begin from the spiritual level. I believe all the power to change mindsets and to change attitudes is unto God. And I would urge, as a Christian myself, I would urge someone out there that you need to find time and find your God and pray, irrespective of your religion. Find time and pray. Because prayer works. It has worked for me, it works. That's one. Two, because this is a mindset, because this is happening in the invisible human being, which we are not seeing, start by making a choice to be positive. Start by identifying the good in your life. And you can have, you can, at the end of your day, make it a point to write something positive which has happened in that day, because you want to build a character, you want to build a trait. This is a habit which you should be having, and habits cannot be made in one day. Previously, research showed that habits are made in 21 days, and however, currently they affirm that habits are made in 90 days. Those are 3 months of consistent, persistent self-training. Because you finding yourself negative, it wasn't by mistake. It's not natural to be negative. No, it's not. Because research shows that a young child, a child before adolescence, they laugh between 300 to 400 times a day. And an adult who is 30s above, they laugh not more than 4 times a day. That means we are, by nature, by instincts, we are born a happy race. We are born a happy people. We have a happy gene, so to say. We have a positive vibe. Because our God is positive, our God has given us all the ability and authority to be positive. But because of the situations we go through, because of what we see other people going through, because of the past experiences which could have been negative, we train our minds that actually reality is full of negativity, and we lose it. So make a choice every single day to write something good which has happened to you.
Okay.
And lastly, I believe that you have to surround yourself with people who are giving you a positive vibe. People and also other material you're reading or you're viewing, because one time I was listening to a certain radio and they had an advert, a disclaimer that overconsumption of news is harmful to your mental health. That means that if you are a person who is always reading negative stories in newspapers, if you're always following negative people because they are bloggers, because they have influence, blah blah, and they're saying all this trash to your mind, you shall subconsciously adapt to the negative vibe. Because if I had time, I would have explained to you how the subconscious mind works. Because subconsciously you start adapting things you are not even aware of. That's why it's called the subconscious. You are not aware, but it is happening. That's why when you sleep and there is music in the background, sometimes you can have a dream and you are dreaming, you are seeing visual things, but you're getting the lyrics of the songs.
The song
yes,
you are listening
to. Or when people are speaking, when you are asleep, you can actually dream that you're having a conversation and those words are actually happening. So this is all subconscious mind. So you have to make sure that you tune your subconscious mind by watching what you're listening to, what you're watching, the people around you, what are the stories going on, including comedy stories. That's why I love comedians. I really love comedians because I love being happy. I love laughing. However, if someone is negative, if someone is using abusive, vulgar words, that's not comedy for me. Because I know subconsciously, even the fact that it's comedy, it builds up a character over time.
All right.
Thank you, Byron.
Daniel Moiti there, who is an inspirational speaker, coach, lecturer, and many more. We are going to go in for a break, but when we come back, we'll be talking a little bit more on this subconscious mind. How does it work? What? So that he expounds